Welcome back to the show. Well, last week we introduced you to Keith Tower, the NBA player who was saved after the owner of his team gave him a Bible. But the story doesn't end there. Keith is now assisting others in their walk with Christ.
He has removed everything that stands between you and the Father.
Well, before Jesus, if you had ever told me I'd be the pastor of a church, I would have thought you were completely crazy.
As an NBA star, pastoring a church wasn't even on Keith Tower's mind until he was challenged by a teammate.
I had a teammate of mine, and he walked me through the Roman road. So he wrote down on a little napkin there from the restaurant we were sitting in, little prayer of salvation, how to give my life to Christ. And he said, I'll tell you what, if you really believe this, when you get back to your hotel room tonight, pray that. And when you wake up tomorrow, your life will never be the same. And literally for 2 hours, I wrestled harder with a piece of paper that big than I ever did with Shaquille O'Neal, than I ever did with Akeem Olajuwon. And eventually I said, God, you win. Once I gave my life to him, really all I wanted to do was tell other people about him. Having been a guy who went from darkness to light, lived 4 years and lost, and then played for 3 more with Christ, I had a really good perspective of both sides of the locker room and what some of the lost guys were thinking, what some of the open doors might be to them.
He had finished playing, I was finishing up playing, and I remember it was Indianapolis, and we met in a hotel room. I was kind of wondering, okay, he came in the door, is he gonna remember that time I, hit him in the back of the head with an elbow, or, punched his kidneys a little too much that one game, and was he gonna, retaliate a little bit? And luckily not, actually prayed for me.
Meeting Andrew was really a kind of a neat thing. He grew up in the church, but growing up in the church and living in a NBA locker room are 2 completely different things.
He opened up a whole world to me, another aspect, a deeper aspect of your relationship with God that you can go to, and opens up power and victory.
As he and I were building a relationship and he was excited about reaching his teammates, he said, well, what if we had a Bible study in my house?
So we invited everybody in the locker room, all their wives, all their boys.
Our first Bible study was my pastor, me, Andrew, and the team chaplain.
And I'll never forget, he broke the silence and said, maybe it wasn't about having every teammate here tonight. Maybe it was just about being available to God.
I think Andrew took that to heart and thought, God might just want to see if I'm willing. And if I'm willing, what could God do with a willing heart?
Looking back on it now, it's pretty cool to see what he's been able to do from just that Bible study.
And eventually 1 player started coming, 2, 3, 4, and we just started talking about maybe God wanted to do a church here.
We had said that, we want to have a church where I would want to go to. We want to have a church that was real. We wanted to see change in people's lives. We saw an opportunity to expand out of what my house would fit.
I think when people come in, they probably pretty quick guess that we played something. I mean, Andrew's the short guy on staff at 6'10", and I'm 7 feet, and we duck through the doorway. People kind of, whoa.
Can I tell you that God loves you? God has freedom for you?
I believe that the church is the last best hope of the world. When somebody walks in, we take every person that comes through our doors seriously. This may be their last chance that they're going to give God. And if we can introduce them to a real God in a practical way, get them connected with people that love them and will help support them, we love doing that. We've not promoted on being, an NBA church or led by 2 basketball players. We've had different people in marketing going, man, you have to really play that up. And it's just not who we are.
I got my cool Vans on today, so we're gonna get that.
Cool. I was debating. I literally had Chloe. I'm like, all right, what shirt can I wear that will not look pasty? And
She's like, pick that one.
She's like, well, Dad, it's not. You don't have a whole lot of options.
There is a leadership that's undeniable, and it's easy to follow him because I've seen him sacrifice a lot.
Let me tell you something about Andrew. Early in our church, we were in a rented facility. Somebody walked into the bathroom and he's in there cleaning them. And they came out and go, what's he doing in there? And I'm like, I don't know. And I went in, I said, what are you doing in here? He goes, someone's going to come in second service, and these bathrooms need to be as clean as they were for the people first service. It's a 10-plus year NBA veteran, multimillionaire, and he is scrubbing the toilets so that someone could know Christ. For us to go, hey, we're pro athletes, come to our church, speaks. But for that guy to scrub toilets, resounds.
Every Sunday we walk in here, we see new people walking in the door that I don't know. I would never be able to know or reach or ask or invite, and yet they're coming in our doors, mainly because we open them every Sunday. That's awesome. That's God, and I love that.
We believe in people encountering a very real God in a very real way with real people on a real journey together, and we have a lot of fun doing it. We take God seriously, but we don't take ourselves too seriously.
Of course not. Why would I open a door for you? So, Ellie Luz, what did you get that you liked her?
The fact that we get to be friends through it is really cool, because we can joke, we can laugh, we can poke at each other, we can strive together to get it done, and in that camaraderie, inside that teamwork is a bond that just never goes away.
You know, Matt, when we were at their church in Orlando, it was just amazing to be there, and the kind of the community that they have built is so special and just relaxing. They make everyone feel at home. You would even never know, unless it's for their height, that they were in the NBA before. And Andrew said something interesting to me. He said, I don't even like to go by the P word very much. I don't like to call myself a pastor, because he really sees himself as an aide for Keith, the main pastor, so that he can be a witness and so that he can lead that church. It was very impressive.
They use the word real a lot. They want to seem real and be real, and I think that piece showed that they certainly are, and what great grounded guys.